shadows grow thin. Shapes of strength in the fight within. Rhythms pounding like the earth's heartbeat. Warriors rise where the worlds compete. Step by step, your legends near. Every kick breaks through the fear. Wisdom flows in the sweat you gain. Buddha cast calls, ignite the flame.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a really fascinating area, the world of martial arts.
Yeah, looking at it from all sorts of angles, right? Film, sports, community stuff.
Exactly. We've got movie reviews, news articles, rankings, a whole mix you sent in. And the idea is to, pull out the interesting bits and maybe see how they connect.
Absolutely. We've got reviews for Absolute Dominion, some fun stuff from Screen Rant on Movie Heroes and Enter the Dragon. Then news on Patrice Evra's MMA debut attempt, Guardian photos, a local Tai Chi thing.
Oh, yeah, the Mother's Day offer.
Right. And an International Martial Arts Expo report. Plus, Sherdog rankings, a UFC 315 preview, and even something on Valentina Shevchenko's other passion from Bloody Elbow.
Wow. Okay. Quite the spread. Let's dive into the movies first. Absolute Dominion.
Right. The premise is pretty wild. Dystopian future, religious tensions solved by a martial arts tournament.
To prevent holy wars, yeah. And it apparently kicks off because Patton Oswalt's character just, suggests it on a live stream.
Yeah, as a fix for World War III. The film itself apparently knows this is flimsy ground to start on.
Which is funny because the review says the movie is mostly humorless.
Exactly. That's the surprising part. You'd think with that setup, it might lean into the absurdity, like, Bloodsport or No Retreat, No Surrender. Those had fun with it.
But this one plays it straight.
Seems so. And maybe that affects the experience. The review mentions the fights, the core of it, feel a bit uneven.
How so?
Well, the main character is genetically engineered, so maybe he doesn't seem in much danger. Even the final fight apparently lacks real tension.
And the setting doesn't help.
Described as looking like an empty rec center kind of undercuts the whole major global event vibe, even with big crowds shown.
So, watchable, maybe, but flawed. Teases a bigger story that doesn't quite get there.
Sounds about right. It's out May 9th, 2025, theaters and digital, if you're curious.
Okay, now, thinking about martial arts films that do really work, Screen Rant had that piece on goofy protagonists.
Oh, yeah, that was great. The idea of the fun-loving but super skilled hero, they trace it way back, even to Sun Wukong.
It's such a great trope. They mentioned Jack Burton, right?
Yeah.
From Big Trouble in Little China.
Classic example, the guy who's basically a sidekick in his own movie, just bumbling through on luck.
Totally. And Sing from Kung Fu Hustle starts as this,
Yeah, kind of slimy, but then unleashes the Buddha palm. It's brilliant because it's so unexpected.
It breaks the mold, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Not the serious stoic master.
Right. It makes them more relatable, more fun. Like Wong Fei Hung in Drunken Master, the whole style is comedic.
Slapstick and skill combined.
Or Mingling Shi in Lady Iron Monkey, raised by monkeys, that trickster energy.
And Black Dynamite, the ultimate parody. Right. So over the top, but still cool. Fighting Nixon with Lincoln's ghost.
You can't make this stuff up. Well, they did. And Jade from New Dragon Gate in running that in with the dark secret, deadly with throwing stars.
So the common thread is personality, humor mixed with the action.
I think so. Screen Rant suggests it's that blend that makes them stick with us. It's entertaining without being just, relentless fighting. You actually like the characters.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, still on film, Screen Rant also looked at Enter the Dragon. Specifically, that mirror scene finale.
Ah, yes. Bruce Lee versus Han. Iconic.
They call it his best fight scene in the movie. It's visually incredible, all those reflections.
But it's more than just flashy visuals, right?
Yeah.
The symbolism is key.
How so?
Well, Screen Rant points out Lee is literally shattering Han's illusions, his false image reflected everywhere, and Han dying on his own weapon.
His prosthetic hand, yeah. Powerful stuff.
And it works because, underneath the cool concept, the fight choreography itself feels real, grounded.
That's Bruce Lee's authenticity shining through, isn't it? His real martial arts background. Every hit feels like it counts.
Exactly. They mention other great fights too, like Jim Kelly's scenes. It's just a masterclass in martial arts filmmaking, built on real skill.
Okay, let's shift gears. from the screen to the real world, some actual news. Patrice Evra, the former football star.
Yeah, he was meant to make his MMA debut. KOHA.net reported it's been postponed.
Ah, okay. He retired from football back in 2019. Been training, apparently.
With Cedric Doumbé, a known MMA fighter. Evra says he's ready, but, well, these things happen in combat sports. Postponements aren't unusual.
Still, quite a career shift after playing for Man United and all those big clubs. Shows the draw of MMA, I guess.
Definitely attracting athletes from other arenas.
And speaking of global reach, The Guardian had some striking photos.
Oh, right, the photos of the day. One was a Joseon-era martial arts display in Seoul, traditional costumes, historical connection.
Looked amazing. And the other, police in Bangkok.
Yeah, doing something called Cops Combat, a national competition focused on practical self-defense for their job.
That's fascinating. Really shows the different ways martial arts are used, doesn't it? Tradition, self-defense.
Absolutely. It's not just sport or entertainment. It's woven into culture, into practical training.
And on a much more local community level, that North Texas E-News piece about the Mother's Day offer.
The free week of Tai Chi, yeah. At White Right Martial Arts Center.
Described as, slow, gentle, good for joints, balance, focus.
It's a great reminder that martial arts isn't all high-impact fighting. Tai Chi offers huge health benefits, very accessible.
Nice initiative for Mother's Day.
Definitely highlights the wellness side.
Okay, and another event the leader Harold covered, an International Martial Arts Expo.
Hosted by Pazalia's American Kenpo Karate up in Johnstown, right?
Right.
At Lake George.
Yeah, and they had some huge names there.
Yeah.
Benny the Jet Uguidez, Bill Superfoot Wallace.
Wow, legends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the focus seemed to be on sharing knowledge, bringing different styles together, Kenpo, MMA.
That community aspect is really strong in martial arts, isn't it? People sharing, learning from each other. The host, Joe Pazzalia, apparently really emphasized that.
They mentioned past guests like Chuck Liddell, too, and an upcoming grappling tournament. Sounds like a really active place.
It shows that spirit of collaboration. Respect for different styles, but a shared passion.
Okay, so let's get into the rankings and the competitive side more directly.
Yeah.
Sherdogs, oh snap.
Right, looking at recent UFC results and how they shook things up. Corey Sandhagen beat Davison Figueiredo.
But it was due to injury, right?
Yeah, unfortunately. Still, Sandhagen holds his number 6 spot at bantamweight. Keeps him in the title picture, potentially.
What about Figueiredo? Tough break for him.
Yeah, especially at 37, dealing with an injury. It's a tough road back.
And there was a big upset.
Huge one at middleweight. Rainier de Ridder beat Bo Nickel.
Wow. Nickel was undefeated, wasn't he? A lot of hype around him.
Exactly. De Ridder handed him his first loss, dominated the fight, and now jumps into the rankings at number 15.
Just shows you anything can happen in MMA. Experience counts.
Definitely. And it shakes up that whole division.
There was also movement in the women's rankings. Bantamweight, strawweight.
Yeah, a few shifts due to fights, retirements, injuries. Names like Yana Santos, Marina Rodriguez, Stamp Fairtex, Seo Hee-ham. It's always changing.
And a new Ryzen champ entering the featherweight ranks.
Rajabali Shadaliev. Quick win, gets the belt, enters at number 15. Pushes Patricio Freire out of that spot. It's a constant churn.
Always something happening. Okay, looking ahead then. UFC 315 in Montreal. Lufkin Daily News had a preview.
And they mentioned something interesting. The potential for U.S.-Canada political tensions to, add atmosphere.
Yeah, seems a bit unusual, but maybe it adds spice. The main event is Bilal Muhammad from the U.S.
against Jack Della Maddalena from Australia for the welterweight title.
Right, and the co-main is Valentina Shevchenko.
The champ, Kyrgyz-Peruvian, defending her flyweight belt against Manon Fiorot from France.
And apparently one American fighter, Charles Redtog, is specifically framing his fight against a Canadian, Mike Malott, in those U.S.-Canada terms.
Huh. Interesting angle. Adds a narrative beyond just the fight itself, I suppose. Shows how outside stuff can filter in.
Definitely. Now, speaking of Valentina Shevchenko, Bloody Elbow had a piece on her other passion.
Oh, yeah, this was fascinating. She's not just a dominant UFC champ.
She excels at competitive pistol shooting.
Right.
Like 3-gun competitions.
Exactly. IPSC, IDPA, 3-gun. She's apparently really good at it.
How did she even get into that?
Her MMA coach, Pavel Fedikov, introduced her back in 2010, and she finds the skills actually translate.
Really? Like what?
Speed, concentration, problem-solving under pressure. Skills essential in MMA, but also key in these dynamic shooting sports.
That makes a surprising amount of sense when you put it that way.
Yeah, and she emphasizes the safety and discipline aspect, too. She even thinks it helps her UFC career, sharpens focus, builds discipline, that drive for perfection.
And she plans to do more of it after MMA.
Yeah, seems like a genuine passion she wants to pursue more seriously later on. Loves the dynamic nature of it.
What a fascinating crossover. Shows how those core skills, focused discipline, can apply in really different areas.
It really does. Makes you wonder about cross-training benefits in other sports, too, doesn't it?
For sure. So, wrapping this up, it's just amazing how diverse this world of martial arts is, isn't it?
Yeah, from movies, some serious, some goofy, to, real-world competitions, local classes, historical traditions.
And even unexpected links, like Shevchenko's shooting.
Exactly. We saw that blend of humor and action in films, the global reach, the dedication of practitioners, and how skills from one discipline can pop up somewhere else entirely.
It's been quite the journey through these sources.
Definitely some aha moments connecting the dots.
So here's something to think about as we finish. We've seen martial arts as entertainment, self-defense, sport, a tool for focus. So many facets beyond just fighting. What part of this huge world resonates most with you? What might you want to explore a bit more?
Great question to leave folks with.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Swift and light, finding space to fly, patience in the night, balance holds me right, color rising up, color rising up. Day by day, finding strength along the way. Like water running deep, like thunder when I speak. Slow motion, we are free. The path was meant to be. Like water running deep, like thunder when I feel the emotion. We are free. The path was meant to be. Waiting to grow.